Good evening, everyone. I am Reverend Richard Burdick, and it is my honor and greatest blessing to invite you into this time of prayer, this time of reflection, of meditation, silence, stillness, all facing in the same direction, a time of peace. Today, Unity North, our family, both online and many here in the room as well, we're holding a sacred space of peace. In fact, we're allowing ourselves to be a sanctuary of peace, the living, vibrating temple of peace itself. And we're holding that not just for ourselves, but for our church community. And we're holding that vibration for the entire nation. Our nation is in a very important process right now, an electoral process. And tensions are high, but they don't have to be. We, as ambassadors of peace, for the next 4 weeks, will be holding a sacred container for the possibility that this process can be smooth and easy and free of friction and argument, but only a demonstration of all the principles that our country, that our nation stands for peace on earth. And so we have an anonymous donor that has said the shirt, I don't know if you can see the shirt that I'm wearing, that we have these for sale as a fundraiser for the community to support the efforts of peace that Unity North is involved in. We're so incredibly grateful for that. They're only $10, and I invite you to either get one tonight if you're here, but to come by the church and pick one up and purchase it as your statement that the energy that we create here for the next 4 Wednesday nights cannot and will not be contained in this space or in these words that we share tonight, but is an energy that is pervasive, and it goes out of our doors, out of our minds and our hearts and our spirits to infect our entire environment, our entire nation, as a temple of peace. And so as our commitment to this truth, and as a way of beginning our time together, I'm here joined with Michael Burke, as always, my partner on Wednesday nights. It's just great to have you back. And Reverend Laurel and Bellamy is here as well. They're going to join us in consciousness by offering their hearts, their spirits, and their words. They are two advocates of peace at the highest level. And so I invite you to receive them into your heart as we receive you into ours. We begin by lighting a candle. The light of peace that we celebrate tonight is eternal. It has never gone out, even in the darkest of times. It is always, always present. And so oftentimes when we do these things, we use the peace song at the end. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Throughout the 4 weeks, we'll have various degrees of peace. But tonight, it's really focused upon peace within, the kind of peace that we are and that we are seeking. And so we're going to begin with a call and response prayer for peace that will go into our time together with let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. And then Reverend Laurel will share a few thoughts and ideas, and then the rest of the evening will be a time of deep contemplation and meditation. For those that are gathered in the room, there's a piece of paper. That call and response prayer is on your seat if you'd like to join in. The words are simple, that you will all say, we will be the peacemakers. So Michael and Laurel will read that along with you. I invite you to take these words on as your own. Infinite Spirit of life and light, today we remember that we belong to each other. We commit our every word and our deed to the activity of love and oneness. Not a oneness of opinion or expression, but a oneness of spirit and truth. Together, we
will be the peacemakers.
We affirm an end to all violence and oppression, and that apathy, indifference, and duality of any kind is laid to rest.
We will be the peacemakers.
We pray that prejudice and discrimination give way to understanding, to justice and listening. We hold in mind and heart that the hungry are fed, the homeless are given refuge, and the elderly are revered.
We will be the peacemakers.
We pray that our sacred nation is honored, and that Mother Earth is treasured, and that all people cooperate in caring for our common home.
We will be the peacemakers.
We know together that every culture, race, and religion in this nation is respected, is treasured, and celebrated for the important place it holds in the fabric of the United States of America and our common humanity.
We will be the peacemakers.
We pray that every woman, child, and man feels valued, and that every life, no matter its color, shape, gender identity, or sexual orientation, is a sanctuary of God, and that we, as one people, citizens of the United States of America, belong to each other, and so we stand in solidarity with those that have been marginalized, and in compassion for those that we do not understand and that think differently than us.
We will be the peacemakers.
As a New Thought community, Unity North Atlanta, we hold our nation. We hold all of our leaders in our hearts, that we may continue to be a beacon of hope to those who seek equality, freedom, and opportunity.
We will be the peacemakers.
Any fear or frustration or anger that wells up within us around this electoral process, let it inspire us to mend the world, to mend the nation, to mend our own heart, and not destroy any of it.
We will be the peacemakers.
When we as citizens of this nation forget these truths, we will have the presence of mind to ask for forgiveness. And when others forget, that forgiveness will be our gift to offer.
We will be the peacemakers.
As individuals and as spiritual communities dedicated to the evolution of consciousness, to the freedoms that we celebrate, we serve as midwives for kindness, for gentleness, for compassion.
We will be the peacemakers.
We are one with the harmony of the universe. We are one with the harmony of the nation. All is in divine order. We trust the power and the presence of God to make it so, as peace reigns supreme throughout the United States of America.
We are the peacemakers.
And so it is, and so we let it be, and so it shall be. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. I'd like to invite Laurel and Bellamy to share a few thoughts of peace before we enter our meditation.
Peace. The question is it peace for or peace from? There are probably moments in anyone's day when you seek a sanctuary of peace to escape stress or disagreement. And there are other times when you seek to join with others in a celebration of common ground and the grace that sharing, being in that state of peace, provides each of us and a collectiveness. Peace is a challenging word for our culture, I think, because we're proactive people, so we want to be engaged, we want to be passionate, we want to be on the right side of history, the arc of justice that's curving around the universe, and yet every religious tradition extols the virtue of spending some time each day placing ourselves, body, soul, and mind, in a sanctuary of peace. I can remember when our children were very small and they were stepping stones, 3 years apart. So there came that memorable year where one was 3 years old and one was 6 years old. And there came a moment that a girlfriend of mine called the arsenic hour, mid-afternoon, where the kids were just kind of bouncing around, and I would retreat to our bedroom, put my face in a pillow, and start chewing on the pillow until I calmed down. And then I emerged, at least in my mind, you might need to talk to them, in a state of peace. That's peace as a sanctuary, and it's available everywhere. My husband and I just came back from what we call the Great American Road Trip. We drove 3,000 miles round trip to see our son Luke in Denver. And to do that, we crossed the prairie in Kansas going out, and the prairie across Montana and Wyoming and Nebraska going home. And to a girl raised on the 11th floor of a landmark building on Broadway and 74th Street, when you had to go to the very edge of your window and look straight up to see a patch of blue. Driving across the prairie where there is just meadows to the horizon line, and then these little green squiggles of trees along the horizon line, and the rest is this giant bowl of sky. And it helped me understand the organizing principle of those who chose to come to this new land, whether it was new for people in the 16th century or new for my ancestors at the very beginning of the 20th century, to come to this new land and take a breath and breathe in opportunity, possibility, because there was all this space. And to experience space is a blessing, is a place of peacefulness. We stopped in at some roadside place for a beverage, a coffee, and the waitress made some chit-chat about, where are you folks from? And when I said Atlanta, and there we were in the middle of 80 eastbound, she said, what do you think about all this? There's nothing out there. And I remember looking at her because my eyes had been glued like some kind of a planetarian camera, just scanning the horizon that surrounded me and the peace that came from the fullness of the prairie. So I invite each of you to give yourselves the gift of seeking out peace every day, whether it's peace for renewal or peace from relief. Peace is there for you. Don't deny yourself that gift.
And so we affirm, as the shirt says, pray for peace 2020 and beyond. It is a commitment for us to do whatever it takes to find the space. And yes, we can find it in downtown Atlanta. We can find it on the prairie. We can find it with our face in a pillow or playing with a 3-year-old on the floor. It's the same peace that is available. And that in the midst of whatever is happening for you, your community, the nation right now, there is no less peace available than there was at any time in our history. And so I invite you to take a deep breath with me. And to know that the interconnectedness of peace for the nation and peace in our heart is essential. Let us, as testimonies to what is possible, whether in a city, a pillow, or on the floor, that same power and presence is always available. And so we bring it down from a prayer of peace for the nation to begin our journey for the next 4 weeks with knowing peace must be within. As Michael Burke shares this reading from Lao Tzu, the founder of the Taoist religion.
A beautiful piece from Lao Tzu. If there is to be peace in the world, there must be peace in the nations. If there is to be peace in the nations, there must be peace in the cities. If there is to be peace in the cities, there must be peace between neighbors. If there is to be peace between neighbors, there must be peace in the home. And if there is to be peace in the home, there must be peace in the heart.
Let's breathe those words in together. We will have extended periods of silence this evening to just let there be peace in the heart. And as there is peace within the heart, that journey goes the other direction. There will be peace in your neighbor. That each of us commit to being the first one to take the step back and see peace in the eyes of our neighbor. Let us be the first ones to take the step back and to see peace in the eyes of a person who thinks differently than we do. And to know it's the same peace that dwells in our heart that is in theirs. And so to lead us into our first time of silent reflection, the words, "There is only one of us. In your eyes, it's me I see. You are my reflection. There is only one." Sing quietly or out loud with me. There is only one of us. In your eyes, it's me I see. In your eyes, it's me I see. There is only one of us. You are my reflection. You are my reflection. There is only one. There is only one. Together, there is only I see there is only one of us. You are my reflection. You are my reflection. There is only one. There is only one. How easy is it to know that with the person who believes and thinks just the way you do? And how large a chasm is it to hold that same truth with a person who thinks differently than you or believes differently than you? Oh, but we must be the change that we want to see. So I invite you to hold the face of somebody that you perhaps have held at bay, and to extend the hand of peace, the breath of peace, the olive branch and dove of peace that is your heart and your intention, as we sing one last time. There is only one of us. There is only one of us. In your eyes it's me I see. There is only one of us. You are my reflection. There is only one. We are the United States of America. Let us sit in the silence with a united mind, a united heart, and a united truth. So Michael and Laura Lynn, I'd like to invite you into another call and response prayer. And again, this has more words for you. The sheet is on the chair. I invite you to take the words that I will be leading the congregation in as your own, as we share in this prayer by Ernest Holmes.
The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. I know there is but one mind, which is the mind of God, in which all people live and move and have their being.
Together, I know there is a divine pattern for humanity, and within this pattern there is an infinite harmony and peace, cooperation, unity, and mutual helpfulness.
I know that the mind of man, being one with the mind of God, shall discover the method, the way, and the means best fitted to permit the flow of divine love between individuals and nations.
Together, thus harmony, peace, cooperation, unity, and mutual helpfulness will be experienced by all.
I know there shall be a free interchange of ideas, of cultures, of spiritual concepts, of ethics, of educational systems, and of the scientific discoveries, for all good belongs to all alike.
And together, I know that because the divine mind has created us all, we are bound together in one infinite and perfect unity.
in bringing about world peace. I know that all people and all nations will remain individual, but unified for the common purpose of promoting peace, happiness, harmony, and prosperity.
Together, I know that deep within every person, the divine pattern of perfect peace is already implanted.
I now declare that in each person and in leaders of thought everywhere, this divine pattern moves into action and form to the end that all nations and all peoples shall live together in peace, harmony, and prosperity forever.
And so it is.
So it is now.
The words to two favorite hymns of our nation live in me now. America the Beautiful. What a beautiful land we live in. Such texture and color and diversity. Such magnificence to behold. And although there are man-made borders to divide our states, it is one United States that we share. We are one moment away from the expanse of the Grand Canyon, or the cliffs of Yosemite, the waters of Niagara, the plains of Kansas, beautiful oceans that decorate our shores. We share it all. It belongs to not one of us, not even a small or large group of us. It belongs to all of us. And so, yes, we live in the energy of America the Beautiful. From the mountains to the valleys to the oceans. It belongs to us and we belong to her. Each one of us in the same space of awe and wonder for how blessed we are. We share that experience. The other hymn that I'm playing around my head right now is God Bless America, Land That I Love. Land that I love. We also share that landscape. A land, a divine idea that we all love. Oh, so varied in those particular ways that we love America and the particular things we love about America, but it is still America. And yes, we all pray, God bless this nation. God bless this moment in time where it appears that maybe we have forgotten. But the landscape of love, of gratitude, of spiritual awareness that transcends our differences has been forgotten. But we know tonight that we are one breath away from a great remembrance. A remembrance that we place into every vote cast. A remembrance that we place into the eyes of the 100, the 200, the 300 people in line casting their love for America as well. For it matters much less how many votes anybody gets. And it matters much more that we remember the landscape of love. There is only one of us, Americans. And yes, we should and do speak loudly and passionately. And yes, we will speak respectfully, peacefully, honestly, and humbly. That whether this nation goes left or right, up or down, let this nation go inward. That is our prayer. Let this nation go inward to the landscape of love that is as majestic as the mountains, that is as beautiful as the oceans, and as vast as the prairies, as tall as the redwoods, and as small as each grain of sand upon our shore. Let us be less concerned about the grain of sand that somebody else is adding to the ocean, and just simply be the grain of sand that we are. A grain of sand that testifies to love, that testifies to all that we hold dear as united citizens, as peaceful citizens, as ambassadors of peace. And when enough of us hold this idea and this thought, we wrap this beautiful land called America in a container that heals the wounds that need to be healed, allows the amends that need to be made, and gives us all the power to take that step back and remember the truth. We're in this together. Let us sit for just a moment in our second period of silence and pray together. God blesses America through us and as us. America, America, the beautiful. In the silence. Consider with me for a moment what is possible for the world when we demonstrate as a leader in the world a beacon of promise and hope for the world of what is possible. Of what is possible in knowing that no matter how far we have strayed from peace, we can come back home. So we hold these words: peace, 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 peace on earth we hold, as we did at the beginning of the evening, the universe that we sing peace to. Oh, it's as vast as the cosmos. But it is even more vast within us. So I invite you to join Michael Burke as he explores the peace inwardly and outwardly, the cosmos of God within and God eternal.
Yes, peace is an inside job. It happens interiorly, but we are going to spread it everywhere. This is called interiority complex. Demons brought to light are angels set on fire. I day the night with blind desire, for that I've yet to see has seen me. It cannot be if it's free. Free of the cage I built to engage its sorry views and mortal blues, its endless defenses and infinite fences, its drudge to begrudge and bind my mind, its urge to splurge and tie my high on low sensations, insincere vibrations, feeding on my faults that it festers in my vaults, 'cause it knows when it is empty that I receive what is meant me. The love I sought in my life was seeking for me every day. But it took a vision. It took a vision of my ex-wife for me to get out of the way. And then just as suddenly, my father appeared, riding bareback on a giant eagle, his cosmic aura tangling with the solar winds. He looked so royal, he looked so regal. Then he raised his arms above his head, and before disappearing into the light, I saw written on the back of his white leather jacket, everything's gonna be all right. And then I appeared in the sky, all of it. There was nothing that wasn't me. And I found everything I'd been searching for by finding nothing. Nothing was outside of me. I was the beating of the eagle's heart, the resurrection of a widowed spirit. I am light to my own night. I am dawn to my own day. Because love allowed me to fear it. And in that fear was release. And in that release was peace. And in that peace is peace within. And peace within, well, peace within is inner peace. And inner peace has always known that love knew what I was before I ever knew what love was. Love knew what I was before I ever knew what love was.
The love that we are seeking sought us before we even began our journey. The peace that we all seek, and yes, we all want the same peace. It was seeking us long before we ever woke up and opened our eyes. And the great Father, the great Mother in the sky and beyond assures us we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. because the energies of the entire cosmos are meeting our prayers, are meeting our meditations, are answering the call of our desires, our common desires. And so we invite you for the next 4 weeks and far beyond to join us in praying for peace 2020 and beyond, as brothers, as sisters, as Americans, as citizens of this great, beautiful earth. Peace is seeking us. Love is seeking us. And we meet in the middle. And the spaces between us evaporate back to the nothingness from whence they came. Before we end with our closing song, Orlin, is there anything you'd like to say or to say to anybody who's watching? Just a final comment?
You don't need to go to the prairie to sense the peace that this natural world is offering us. If there's a tree outside your window, if you can see a bit of cloud and blue outside your window, you have access to the most profound peace God could pour into our souls. May it be so for each of you and all of us.
So on behalf of the donor and Unity North, if you want to get one of these t-shirts and wear it everywhere, because people will ask you about it. Where did you get that? What's that about? And you can proudly say, I belong to Unity North Atlanta. And we're erasing the boundaries of politics. We're erasing the boundaries of religious belief systems that have separated us. And we're remembering we belong to each other as brothers and sisters. They're only $10. Come get one. Right now, I'm going to invite you to hold this closing song. I'm going to talk just briefly about an offering, but this is not about money here. This is about changing the world. And so if you want to make an offering through text to give, a Facebook donation, through dropping off a check at the church or mailing a check to say, I'm in it, I'm with you, and I'm willing to put whatever I've got, all my resources behind it, we gratefully receive that donation. You're my brother, you're my sister, so take me by the hand. Together we will work till peace comes. There's no foe that can defeat us when we're walking side by side. As long as there is love, we will stand. I invite everyone in the room to stand. I invite those out there, wherever you happen to be, to stand. And although we can't reach out and hold each other's hands right now, we don't need to do it physically because we're doing it mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. You're my brother, you're my sister, so take me by the hand. Together we will work until peace comes. There's no foe that can defeat us when we're walking side by side. As long as there is love, we will stand. You got one more of those in you? Please sing with me. You're my brother, you're my sister, so take me by the hand. Together we will work till peace comes. There's no foe that can defeat us when we're walking side by side. As long as there is love, we will stand. As long as there is love, we will stand. We're going to be here sharing love, knowing peace, knowing unity, knowing oneness together for our nation, for all of our political leaders, and for all of our political parties, that we are infecting them with a deep sense of peace. Thank you for joining us. We'll be here for the next 3 weeks holding this same process through our election. God bless America, and God bless each and every one of you. Thank you for being here.